This little book changed the course of my life, and when now looking back, I was at that time I was driving with an old Ford Orion from the 80s, and it was almost falling apart. But I loved that car because it brought me where I wanted to. But I didn't have anything. I didn't have any money. I was just married. We lived in a rental house, and we had big dreams, but nothing else to support that big dreams at that moment. And the thing that I did at that moment, I was interested in reading more, changing things. But before I dive deeper in that book, I would like you to share a story that probably also can relate to you. Because if you are following this channel and if you're new to this channel, well, I'm sharing rich thoughts, thoughts that Bob Proctor taught me, thoughts that I'm studying every day, which helps me to become more successful in the things and the goals I'm setting out for myself at this moment. And I'll try to explain them in the most easy way, most basic way, so that you can apply them in your life, because I don't want to be that guru with the fancy words and expensive words and difficult terms. No, I would like you to understand and the things that maybe can change the course of your life like it did for me. And I would like to tell you a story, and it's a story about three friends, and the friends are called, for this episode, it's Tom, Scott, and Brad. And Tom is a guy that you maybe it's you, or maybe it's one of your friends that you can relate to, and that's a guy who's he's a steady guy. He will never change anything in his life. He's happy, but he's complaining about everything. And if you ask him to take on an opportunity, he will always refuse, because he has always 10 reasons why he shouldn't do it and why it's too risky or whatever. And he stays in his comfortable place, and that's what he does. And he seems to be happy. Now we know already that people who don't grow probably are not so happy inside. They are acting on the outside that they're happy, but we have that urge in ourselves to grow, to evolve, to get better. So if you opposite to that feeling, that biologically push in yourself, that energy that's flowing to and through you, that wants you to grow, and you are just getting resistance to that, well, maybe not in the beginning, but at a certain point in your life, you will get unhappy, you will get stuck, you will get depressed, you will get burned out, whatever, all those bad things. And then you have Brad. Brad is a guy that he loves fancy things. He loves to enjoy life, and that's a guy who buys at a certain point in his life. And the three guys are the same age, they earn at this point in their life about 50K in a month. So an average European salary, not that much, they're not poor either, but he buys that big flat screen TV, the flat screen TV where everyone is dreaming of, to hang it in their wall. I'm not that guy, but you like to have that big flat screen as decoration in your home. He bought one of those flat screens, and by consequence of that, he enjoys watching his favorite channels, and one of the favorite channels is the cooking channel. He loved to watch those master chefs showing their recipes, and by following those master chefs, he starts to also practice a little bit more in cooking. And by doing that, well, nothing special. He makes a little dessert. Sometimes it takes a little bit more cheese on it, and he's experimenting with new stuff. And that's what he does, and he thinks he's doing well. And then you have Scott. And Scott is a guy from the tree who got a little bit inspired by a YouTube channel at a certain age of 35, and he said, what's happening in my life? And he's searching YouTube, and he listened to some podcasts, and then he got inspired by some podcaster, and he said he suggested maybe it's a good idea to just do a little walk extra every day. Get some fresh air. And when you do that, take your son with you, and so that you can create that bond. And he started to do that. Just a little walk when he gets back from his office, because he was a type of internal sales guy. And he takes his son outside with his bicycle. They go for half an hour after school, and he starts walking, and the boy starts cycling, and they have their 30-minute private father-son bonding time. But he enjoys that because he sees he has a little bit time with his son. And the days that his son is not available, he puts some extra podcasts, and he starts to listen every day to 30 minutes inspiring things. And that's a course of life. You say, well, that's good. And what happens is that Scott, by listening to those podcasts, he's cutting some food that he was it was not something bad, but he was drinking a little bit too much sodas and Coke, so he cut back that of a natural consequence of him walking a little bit more, and he felt like, well, I'll drink a little bit more water. And now we're going a trip in time, and then after 6 months, a year, they meet each other. Now we say, what can happen in those lives? Well, if you see the life of Tom didn't change that much. It stayed steady, as presumed, because he didn't change anything. He's still there, but still complaining, and his job is like annoying him, and he see people around him who are getting better, and he doesn't get better. And he starts to notice that there are people around him in his surroundings that are getting better, and that they're getting promotion, and he's still at the same level in his job. But okay, he doesn't change anything. And with Brad, well, Brad, he loves his flat screen TV. He loves it to watch it, and he can brag about it. Well, all the menus he made, but now it starts to show off. Every week or every day, he took a little bit more than 200 calories extra, which is almost, if you calculate that on a month, it's almost 7,000, 8,000 kilocalories he took extra. Just by watching his food channels and following his food channels. Now he on a 1 year period, he put it on about 7-8 kilograms extra, and that starts to show off in his face and on his belly, and he starts to complain that it's getting hard to get rid of those extra kilograms. And Scott, that's a different guy. He is now more interested in wise things. He started studying. He's fit because of the cutting off of this soda habit. He lost every month about half a kilogram. Now he's sharp as a knife, and he started to do some extra muscle exercise. So now he's putting some extra muscles on. So he's at his 35. He's looking sharp as a knife. Brad is getting fat, and Tom didn't change anything. But he is getting depressed because he sees that the world around him is evolving. Now this story goes a little bit further. And if we jump 5 years further, now what we see now is that Tom still is in the same spot, but now unhappy. He's now taking sleep pills, and he's now on some medication against bad moods, because he doesn't enjoy life anymore. He's complaining about everything. He doesn't know how he can. He doesn't know how he can get ahead in life. Brad is a total other story. That guy, he took so much weight on that he got even more sedentary. And that sedentary lifestyle he got, that started to annoy his wife. By consequence, his wife started to go out more often without Brad, because Brad is always tired, and he's always... he wants to sit down, and then by consequence, well, Brad and his wife are now divorced. He's not happy anymore. Now he's alone at home, and he's like, searching for the new way to get his life back in order. And Scott, yeah, why? You can presume what happened with Scott. Scott got fit, Scott got wiser, Scott got educated himself a little more. He got promotion, and he started his own business. From that own business, he found a business partner. From that business partner, they started to do very well in the local market. And he's now living in the south of France, having new challenges or new goals. He educated himself in forex trading, and he's now living from that. Now, those are three stories, and maybe those are three stories that where you can relate to in your life. Are you the Scott, or are you the Brad? Or are you the Tom? Are you the person that never changes anything, but still is complaining about the situation? Or are you the person, are you more the Brad who took on, if you look back, they took on some bad habits. Some things that are in the beginning, well, they're not fair, they don't seem to harm you, but if you put them together and you do them over and over and over, the results are not only summed up, but they are compounded. And then you have Scott. And Scott, that guy, he's going like a rocket. Every time he knows now that if he changes a little habit, what the consequence can be from that little habit. That you don't see the changes or the results of the habit today, but that you will, he believes and he knows that you will see them in the future. And that's what is my first mindset or books I ever read after I about those easy reads is that there is so much in it. You can read it easily, but you don't have to read it for the knowledge, you have to read it for the understanding. And the biggest understanding from it all, if you have one takeaway from this book, is that a little habit, we are creatures of habit. And we are the sum up of all of our habits. And our results, our daily life, is the sum up of our daily habits. But habits, they don't sum up, they compound. They add on, and then they start to accelerate. Now, most people, they don't change any habit. Why they don't change any habit? Because they don't know the power of the compound effect. They have heard about it, they can tell you about it, they can say, yeah, but the compound effect, and you explain you that compound effect, but can they apply it? And are they willing to start and change a little thing in their life so that they can make use of that compound effect? Because the compound effect can only stay be put in action, or can only change anything in your life if there is persistence, if you are able to continue with that little change of habit. And that changed everything in my life, to start understanding that if I just change a little thing, if I don't use that word anymore, one word I stopped using is try. I was also the guy that said, well, I'll try that. Well, I'll try that. But I understood at a certain moment that words are the bricks of the home that you will live in. So be aware of the words that you say, and stop the habit of using the word try. Now I'll do it, or I won't do it. But there's nothing in the middle. I'll do it, or I don't do it. Trying is for me, if I hear someone say, I'll try, it's for me like the definition to the escape route. I will put a lot of effort to have a reason to fail. That's what is try for me. So, if you now, after listening to this story of Tom, Brad, and Scott, and you say, yeah, maybe there is some value in that idea of the compound effect, and you haven't read a book yet, or if you would like to dive deeper in the knowledge, well, go search for Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect, and start to read it and start to implement it in your own life. And you could already start to implement it without reading the book and do it right away. And that is by making a list of your non-productive habits, of your non-productive activities. And what are those non-productive habits or activities? Well, just observe your day. Have a clear, be a severe, strict observator of your own daily activities. And if you see something in your daily activities, something that is repeatedly done by you, that can be scrolling on your phone. I'm guilty of that. Scrolling my phone, that's something I could really improve on. Having too much conversation time on phone calls, which don't matter. There I could also win some time. There are some non-productive habits or non-productive activities if you just changed one. Jot them down, and at the other side of your paper, write down what the opposite is or how you would like to replace it. Because if you create a void, you need to replace it by something positive. So observe your goal. What is your goal? Yeah. What are your non-productive habits? And just change one. Say, okay, I won't use that word anymore. That word, it won't come out of my mouth anymore. Just start with something very simple as that. I started also with another type of habit. I was drinking too much coffee. I was really like in the morning, from the moment I woke up till the evening, I was drinking coffee. And every reason was good to drink a coffee. But then I became aware that trading, being concentrated in front of the charts and drinking coffee, those are not good friends. Because from scientific studies, I know that caffeine, is getting your decision level down. So you're not that sharp anymore in your decision. I applied that already long before the beginning of my career. I knew that already as a physiotherapist. And when I was building my first business in the fitness industry, and when I have important clients, I served them really strong coffee, and I was drinking or a very light coffee or just water, because I knew that if there was a decision to be made, I would rather like to have my clients on a lot of caffeine. So just to know that. So I stopped that, and now my ritual has become, my habit is in the morning I drink 2 cups of coffee, 2 small cups of coffee. Here in France we have delicious coffee. And then in the afternoon, just after lunch, I drink a third one. And that's all. And that's a big difference from the 10 espresso coffees a day to just 3. And I keep that. And what I saw is that it's not immediately, but I saw by changing those little habits that my trading mentality, my trading mindset start to change. And by changing my trading mindset, the results start to show and start also to become better in a way that I like it very much now. So I hope you enjoyed this type of video and that you will be motivated to dive into this little book, The Compound Effect, or at least and then you make a list of your non-productive activities, pick one, change one, and stick to it. Really stick to it, no matter what. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to explain why you changed it. You don't need any result, but the result will show up. That's the secret of the compound effect. Okay, if you like the video, well, then it's time to put a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then now it's a very good moment to do that. So subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Bye.